Hey guys, what's up? So let me get this out of the way and be completely honest with you. Today is the 1st of April, so of course the theme of this video will be completely absurd and whatever I'm going to talk about won't be truthful in the slightest. Italian history is completely bonkers, but this time even this is too far. Today we're talking about the Red Republic of Caulonia, the short-lived communist republic that had a small farming village at the heart of Calabria as its capital. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Our story takes place at the small town of Caulonia in central Calabria, near the edge of Reggio Calabria province. The region has a very big problem of economic inequality. 3/4 of the land was owned by a rich minority of landowners, while the majority was composed of poor farmers, and they were left with little to no resources, nor alternatives to their lifestyle. This was a very common situation for most small southern communities, but it was particularly bad for Caulonia, especially in January 1944, due to the historical events, the church, and for the corruption and stuff. Back in the day, town mayors were chosen by the local prefect, and due to the social tensions in the area, the prefect of Reggio Calabria, a certain man called Antonio Speciale, decided not to appoint someone from the local upper classes, but instead a man called Pasquale Cavallaro. Now, who was Cavallaro? He was a local school teacher. He was also a communist, a partisan, and a man of the people. Due to his anti-fascist stance and respectable track record, Speciale thought it would be perfect to maintain order between the class conflict. Turns out it was not a good idea. Cavallaro had a son named Antonio, who was also a communist, but he had a more active approach. He formed a little gang of partisans, and they will cause trouble around town once in a while. Things escalated when Antonio Cavallaro and his gang decided to attack the home of retired blackshirt Nestore Proda. They arranged a public trial where they accused them of being an enemy of the people and forced him to do a Russian roulette. I think he survived it, but then the local priest Giuseppe Rotella interrupted the display and demanded the gangsters to stop. As you can imagine, they didn't listen to him and instead started to beat him with iron bars. After that, the Carabinieri got involved and arrested the partisans, including Antonio Cavallaro. As Pasquale Cavallaro tried to convince the Carabinieri to free his son, some locals rose up and headed to the local church to hoist the flag of the USSR on the bell tower, hence proclaiming the town's independence and giving birth to the Red Republic of Caulonia. Antonio was freed shortly after, and Pasquale Cavallaro was elected president of the new republic, an honor that he accepted without many complaints. At first, the Italian Communist Party and the Soviet Union recognized their independence and encouraged their initiative. However, after a spontaneous march that vaguely resembled the one in Russia in 1917, the mob started vandalizing any semblance of private property they could find. The town notary and the engineer Ilario Franco were tortured, whipped, and forced to carry loads of heavy stones barefoot. Their wounds ended up being plugged with vinegar and salt. The town newspaper seller and shoemaker were also beaten several times, and to top it all off, several women were also sexually abused. The anarchy lasted 5 days until Speciale sent reinforcements to the local Carabinieri, who quickly took down the rebellion before it could spread to neighboring towns, which had already happened to some extent. The Partito Comunista Italiano retracted its endorsement after they found out that, other than beating Rotella, they had also killed another priest called Gennaro Amato with machine guns. Turns out that Pasquale Cavallaro was smuggling weapons from the north, thanks to his connections with the other partisans fighting in the front. In June 1947, 357 people were found guilty of several charges, among which were establishment of armed gangs, extortion, violence against individuals, usurpation of public employment, and murder. However, Togliatti was the Minister of Justice at the time, so they were pardoned, except for 3 of them, who were the ones that had killed Gennaro Amato. And this was the end of the short yet intense story of the Red Republic of Caulonia. Now, isn't it reassuring that this never actually happened? Well, yes, that's what I would say if this was actually a product of my imagination. That's right, this is all true. This actually happened. Happy April Fools! I hope you learned a valuable lesson today. Never trust a YouTuber. Thank you for watching.